Deputy Chief of Staff to New York Democrat Governor Kathy Hochul was arrested, charged on Tuesday with serving as an unregistered agent of the Chinese government. Linda Sun has held multiple positions within New York state government and worked for Governor Andrew Cuomo before Hochul. Her husband, Chris Hu, was also arrested at the couple's nearly $4 million home on Long Island with charges including money laundering, bank fraud. Kathy Hochul addressed the arrest Tuesday on WNYC Radio.
There was a betrayal of trust, the trust of government, the trust of the people. And I'll tell you this, the second we discovered some levels of misconduct, we fired her, we alerted the authorities, and hence we ended up with what happened here today.
After appearing in court Tuesday, Sun was released on a $1.5 million bond. Under the terms of her release, Sun is not to have any contact with the Chinese consulate. The couple's next court appearance is set for September the 25th. Let's bring in the dean of the Robertson School of Government at Regent University, former Congresswoman from the great state of Minnesota, and good friend to Victory Channel, Michelle Bachmann. Welcome to Victory News.
Great to be with you. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk about this Linda Sun. She received her luxury home, multi-million-dollar vacation home in Hawaii, a Ferrari, a Range Rover, many other valuable gifts from the CCP. And she and her husband worked to further the interests in New York politicians. Are you surprised at this level of infiltration between Hochul and Cuomo's administration?
Actually, I'm not. It is shocking to read. It's shocking for the listeners to hear this. I formerly served on the Intelligence Committee in the United States House of Representatives. We dealt with classified secrets of the nation, and the #1 nation in the world that violates the United States in terms of espionage are the Communist Chinese. The Communist Chinese seek to dominate every nation on earth. They believe that they will do that, and they're doing that by stealing American secrets, both from corporations and from government. And so they infiltrate in American corporations, they infiltrate in American government, they perform cyber security crimes where they infiltrate our websites as well. And that's why, again, for this upcoming election with Tim Walz as the vice president, his background should send red flags quite literally to everyone, because he visited communist China 35 times. He brought impressionable youth to China to laud the communist Chinese, their way of life. And Tim Walz himself was groomed by the Chinese. He even bragged that they gave him so many gifts, the communist Chinese, he couldn't even bring them all back to the United States. So he's been an apologist and a defender of communist China.
Wow. Let's talk about some whistleblowers for a second. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Whistleblowers told Senator Josh Hawley that agents were woefully unprepared to provide security to Donald Trump when the assassination attempt happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. Here it is.
Most of the agents who were there at that rally in Butler were not Secret Service agents. They were, in fact, Homeland Security agents. And get this, most of those Homeland Security agents, the only training that they received was an online webinar, a 2-hour online webinar. And I'm told that about half the time, the sound to the webinar didn't even work.
Michelle, Senator Hawley has sent a letter of inquiry to Acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe demanding details about this debacle. The whistleblower told Hawley that most of the DHS agents were pulled off child exploitation cases. Now, you're a former Congresswoman. Your reaction to this whole thing?
Well, Josh Hawley has done a tremendous service. He's one of the best senators in the United States Senate. Thank God for him. But what he's uncovered is absolute malfeasance by the Secret Service Department. They know better. Secret Service never used to act like this. We always looked up to them, admired them, revered them. Now Secret Service looks like a Keystone Cops gang where they don't know the end from the beginning or the beginning from the end. And so this is extremely serious. And I think for Donald Trump's sake, for the American people's sake, we can no longer allow this level of ineptitude to happen when we're talking about saving people's lives. There are crazy people out there who want to do harm, who hate Donald Trump, who want to kill him. And so he needs to protect it just like Kamala Harris needs to be protected.
Right.
We can't stand for this. This is embarrassing for our country.
It is. It seems like they've been politicized, and they were never politicized. Democrats continue to hunger for control and regulation of social media platforms, and the free speech allowed by X, by Elon Musk, only makes their desire grow. I want you to listen to former President Obama lay the tracks for rewriting the Constitution to allow censorship. Here it is.
If you think about the U.S. Constitution as software for running a society, really innovative design. It too had some pretty big initial bugs. So we came up with a bunch of patches.
So according to his political math, it equals the future of democracy depending upon, I guess, a Constitution 2.0 and patches. Your thoughts?
Well, Barack Obama, like so many Democrats, like Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they see the Constitution as optional because they flout it. They ignore it. They make unconstitutional actions. And so that's why we need to make sure that we have someone who respects the Constitution like Donald Trump as president.
All right, Michelle, thank you so much.